Okay, on part 48, we left off to where we were just about to go into Chris's behavioral reports and documents. Let's get right into part 49. Okay, about her J-log. The date, September the 21st at 11:32 a.m. He was in Unit S. Deputy J. Aguirre. Narrative. Inmate was offered his hour out at 11:10 a.m. and had access to the shower, phone, newspaper, and exercise room. Inmate has been respectful to me in all dealings and interactions with him. Okay, this one's September the 24th, 9:48 p.m. Still in Unit S. Inmate was very respectful and polite while working with me this week. Other inmates in the unit are starting to accept him being here and were talking with him throughout the week. He was polite and respectful while talking with them, and he never cursed while other inmates were. So see, they notice little things like that. They notice his language. If he uses foul language, all of that was noticed. And he did not do it. And by September the 24th, he had started talking with others there. Okay, this one is entered by Thompson. September the 26th, 3:05 p.m. Inmate was quiet and respectful all day, no issues. Okay, this will be from Jones, 10:59 a.m., September the 30th. Inmate Watts has been respectful in all interactions today. He took his time out this morning and also swapped out books. Okay, date range search 9/21 till 10/2/2008. I certify this to be a true and accurate copy as held by the Weld County Sheriff's Office. And then it has the signature, and it looks like it's Merrill, October the 3rd, 2018. End date reflects when the officer entered an end date, not the true end date or time for that visit. And this is going to be J-log, October the 2nd to October the 15th, 2018. This one is October the 10th, 2:58 a.m., entered by Johnson. Inmate Watts was respectful in all interactions this evening. He followed all directives without issue as well. There was little interaction with him except for when he asked to have his toilet flushed or to know the time at one point. Overall, there were no issues. He was usually quiet in his cell, either reading or just lying down. Okay, this one, October the 14th, 11:10 p.m., Diaz. Inmate was well behaved today. He was polite and presented me with no problems. He watched the TV the majority of his GP, which is general population time. I gave expectations when I did shift change, and he followed all of the rules set before him. He was not very talkative. He was seen pacing back and forth on several occasions. And notice this report is stated the 14th. However, here it will tell you under the Officer Diaz's name, it was actually on October the 13th. It was a delayed entry. So on October the 13th, he was pacing back and forth on several occasions. Okay, this October the 14th, 11:20 p.m., again, Officer Diaz. Inmate Watts was giving expectations during shift change. He presented me with no problems during this time. He was slightly more talkative today. He was seen watching both football games that were on the TV today. Also, he was seen eating some of his commissary food. He was spotted working out in his room on multiple occasions. Finally, inmate Watts ate his dinner and locked down quickly when all lockdowns were announced during my shift. And this one is going to be October the 15th. Inmate Watts was given expectations during shift change. He has continued to follow my expectations without any issues. He was seen eating commissary and doing push-ups on multiple occasions. He was also given a tray for dinner and he ate from it. Inmate Watts was fairly social with me while doing shift change. No issues while I was the housing unit deputy. Again, it is signed off on October the 16th, 2018. Greeley Police Department Officer Report for Incident. And this is October the 16th, 2018, 8:45 a.m. Location GPA, so since it's Police Department, General Population. Additional offense, miscellaneous, no coding. GP assignment, general population assignment, okay. October the 16th, 2018, the involvements are miscellaneous. The description, do not release and do not release. 10/16, he had a phone call at 8:45 a.m. initiating a call. He initiated, so he's the one that made the call. And do not release. So it could have been him calling his attorney. I know there was at one point he did say that he called his dad and he didn't get an answer. So maybe that was that one. And this is a report for incidents. October the 16th, evidence, his mugshots. And yeah, I believe we saw that photo. I think that's the one where he's got the beard growed out and yeah, I believe. Okay, and this is going to be the mugshots again. October the 16th, that's definitely that photo where he's got his beard. He's not very clean shaven at all. Narrative. List miscellaneous documents included with this supplemental report. This is going to be Detective Michael Prill's. Evidence return receipt. School-related incident, yes or no? No. Involvement list. Names, none. Vehicles, none. Property, none. Narrative. On October the 22nd, 2018, the Frederick Police Department and the Weld County District Attorney's Office formally requested my assistance with the homicide investigation of Christopher Watts. Their request was granted. On August the 24th, 2018, I met with Detective David Baumover, Assistant Attorney Michael Rourke, District Attorney Michael Rourke, and Assistant District Attorney Rob Miller. It was decided my endeavor would begin with the organization of the investigation while simultaneously identifying any and follow-up investigation. On August the 29th, 2018, I attended a briefing at the Frederick Police Department. Agencies represented included the District Attorney's Office, the CBI, and the FBI. The purpose of the briefing was to establish a chain of command and the assignment of various tasks. On September the 6th, 2018, I assisted Baumover with the construction of warrants to search assorted cell phones seized during the investigation. These were secured by Judge Quayman that afternoon. Also that day, Baumover interviewed a woman claiming to have had an affair with Chris Watts. With a change in our recording equipment at the Greeley Police Department, It took several weeks to eventually download and preserve that recorded interview. Beginning on September the 18th, 2018, I began my interview and organization of the case file. On October the 2nd, 2018, I met with Agent Darren Ford at the North Colorado Forensic Laboratory. I signed an evidence return receipt for the 4 cell phones he forensically examined: Chris Watts' work and personal cell, Shanann Watts' cell phone, and Nicole Kessinger's cell phone. In addition, I collected a copy of the data Ford extracted from these phones during his forensic examination. Ford provided me 4 additional external drives with the same data downloaded to each. Upon return to the Greeley Police Department, I secured a copy in my office. I opened the K pack sealed by Ford and removed 3 drives, 1 for the prosecution, 1 for the defense, and 1 to be used as a working copy by Baumover. I sealed the remaining drive in a separate K pack, along with the original packaging, and initialed the seal to document chain of custody. Later that morning, I delivered the 2 drives to investigator Kathy Holscher at the district attorney's office. Later that afternoon, I attended a briefing at the Frederick Police Department. I hand-delivered to Baumover the now organized case file, his working copy of the extracted phone data, the original drive intended for evidence, the phones I received from Ford, and the recorded interview Baumover conducted on September the 6th, 2018. On October the 5th, 2018, I preserved Watts' name summary report and inmate data from the Spellman database. In accordance with the court's order, I did not preserve nor review, if available, any information contained within Watts' visitor logs. I also preserved 4 booking photographs of Chris contained in Spellman. On October the 11th, 2018, I attended a meeting involving Baumover and members of the prosecution. Collectively, we identified a myriad of topics requiring attention during future follow-up investigation in this matter. For my part, the next step in my investigation will be a review of the data extracted from the phones. Investigation continues. Please forward to the District Attorney's Office. End of report. Evidence return receipt. October the 2nd, 2018, 8:42 a.m. Return to agency. Description: return to Officer Prairie for the Greenlee Sheriff's Department. Return by Ford. Return method: hand-to-hand transfer. Evidence returned were Chris's work cell phone, the black iPhone 5S, Chris's personal cell phone, the black iPhone, Shanann's cell phone, rose gold iPhone, and Nicole Kessinger's cell phone, a black iPhone 6. Findings for items 40, 41, 42, and 43, so that would be all of this, and they hand-delivered it. And this is going to be from the Greeley Police Department, the mugshot. Of course, it's got his name and information. His scars, marks, and tattoos. So the tattoo on his left arm is actually Godsmack's symbol. It's a trivial. Tattoo on his right arm is a commander diamond. And then the tattoo on his back is the Metallica's Ninja Star. And that is his booking mugshot. Of course, this is just more information on Chris. This is booking date, August the 16th at 3 a.m. No handicap accessible. Confidential report? No. Oh, confidential record, I'm sorry. No. Housed as an adult? Yes. In custody? Yes. Additional information. August the 23rd, inmate Watts will take his hour out in S-Pod. The only modification to this will be if every inmate in Unit 7 is behind a locked door, no one on cots. Inmate Watts was approved by Sergeant Mueller to have a book from Inmate Services. This was given to him by Deputy Petzold Thursday, Thursday, August the 30th, 2018. Inmate Watts is not on discipline and therefore allowed to book. So as you see here, when he is taken out for his hour, every other inmate has to be behind locked doors. So they have to lock the whole prison down for him just to walk through it to be able to go outside. He said people were screaming at him, hollering at him, telling him how horrible he was. He needed to kill himself. For good reason. They knew why he was there. That's why this just called inmate justice and just doesn't take very well to children, and what he did. October the 5th, 2018, 1:40 p.m. No bond. He does not have a bond. And the booking district felony and state agency. And this is his charges. The first murder and the first murder and the first tampering with physical evidence times 3 as well. Tampering with physical evidence. That is what he was charged with when he was first arrested and booked in on August the 16th at 3 a.m. That was the charges he had. Prints, no entries. Bonds, no entries. Actor, no entries. He was booked on risk. He's a high, medium risk, and he was in max custody. Keep separate. 10842, banning gay enemy. States she personally knows the victim of the Watts case. Tippett, Derek, E-N-M-Y, and then in parentheses, as you say, enemy. Inmate Tippett was harassing inmate Watts S-Pod. Housing. There was a move, August the 24th, S06, and then again, move 816 to 824, and I guess it's a different pod, I don't know, and I moved again 816, 1227 to 103 BH2. Cash accounts, show open accounts only, no. Inmate request, no entries. Greeley Police Department Supplemental Narrative Number 1. It gives the dates and times, the gang unit, none, on connecting case. Evidence, no. School-related incident, no. It's none. Vehicles, none. Narrative. During my review of the data extracted from the phones belonging to Chris Watts, Shanann Watts, and Nicole Kessinger, certain information was learned. Agent Darren Ford conducted logical extractions of data from these phones. In conversations with Ford, he advised the Northern Colorado Forensic Laboratory does not possess technology to perform physical data extractions from Apple devices. Thus, I discovered the extracted data is not inclusive of all data stored amongst the assorted applications within a given device, nor does activity involving those applications necessarily reflect in the data extracted. For example, Chris had a secret calculator application uploaded to his personal phone, item 41. This application, by all appearances, is an operable calculator. When the user enters a secret passcode, the application reveals its true purpose: a concealed storage device for photographs, videos, contacts, and even a private browser. In mid-July 2018, Chris began transferring images from his camera application into the secret calculator application. This activity is not reflected within the phone's timeline. Locating those transferred images proved challenging and was predicted on mere curiosity. I searched through the images stored within the data files featured in the Cellbrite report for item 41. Locating an image not highlighted in the timeline, I reviewed the path within the file information and noticed it included the words secret calculator. So see, all of the things in this calculator app, this secret calculator, would have never, ever had even been known, because Chris nor Nicole in any of their interviews even told them that there was any kind of secret calculator out on Chris's phone. He found it just by chance, just out of, as he says, curiosity. That is how the whole secret calculator app was even found and known by him. But once he got into it, it was very hard for him to even get into it. Very challenging, he said. And of course, this came from the Cellbrite report of the phone records. Using the Find feature, I searched the 12,000 images stored in the phone's memory using the keyword secret calculator. I located a vast collection of images otherwise undetected during my review that are stored within this application. So he had 12,000 images in his phone, in the phone's memory, in the secret calculator, because he found those 12,000 images using the keyword searching secret calculator. In the near future, a follow-up warrant will be sought to manually search through this phone and access the secret calculator. That search will include any additional photographs or videos, any browser activity, and information related to the installation date. Amongst the other installed applications found on this phone, I suggest that same warrant seeking permission to manually inspect the alarm clock, Apple Watch, and Vivint application. From the UFED reader, I exported a list of all installed applications found within the item 41 device. A copy of that list accompanies this report. A further review of that list may identify additional applications to search. Review. The accompanying 50-page document is in chronological order to August 2018. Following each entry is ancillary information directing the reader to the location the specific entry was located within the Cellbrite report files. That information is highlighted within box brackets and identifies the device item number, which file, and the entry number within that file. For example, 41 TL7672 and 7673, images 7524, and so on and so forth. Using this example, the reader would open the item 41's Celebrate report, open the Apple Device Advanced Logical report, open the timeline content, and locate timeline numbers. For the images, the reader can either open the images within the timeline or return to the Apple Device Advanced Logical report, open the images data file within the file content, and then locate images 7524. The image data files may, at times, provide additional information related to the image than what is found in the timeline entry. This can include metadata, identifying the location the photo was taken, the device that took the photograph, as well as dates of image modification. HEIC files, High Efficiency Image File Format, is an enhanced version of MPEG files. HEIC files are used in newer Apple operating systems, iOS. Many computers, mine included, may require a minor program modification before accessing and viewing those images. Other punctuation. Any observations or conclusions made during my review are denoted in italics as stand-alone paragraphs brackets. Items highlighted within parentheses normally denote known information. Investigation continues. Please forward to the District Attorney's Office. End of report. Item 40. Chris's work phone, the Celebrate report, Apple device. The device is an Apple iPhone 5S. The current operating system is 11.4. The device phone number, and this is his work phone with the 720 area code. The device Apple ID is, and then as you see, since it's his work phone, it is theanadarko.com email. The device stored 6,751 time entries, 597 images, 170 contacts, 29 videos, 191 audio recordings, 125 SMS messages, 11 MMS messages, and 326 entries in the call log. Item 41. Chris's personal phone, the Celebrate report. The device is an Apple iPhone 7 Plus. The current operating system is 11.4. The device phone number is the 910 area code. The device Apple ID is chrisleewatts@gmail. The device stored 8,700 timeline entries, 12,382 images, 1,273 contacts. My Lord, I feel like I'm very unpopular now looking at their contact list. I feel like mine is not even probably 50 or 100. 475 videos, 141 audio recordings, 304 SMS messages, 35 MMS messages, and 567 entries in the call log. There is no record of any contacts between Watts and Chris Balti in either of his devices. The number of SMS messages retained in this phone is meager at the best. Watts clearly took steps to delete a vast number of records, documenting his communication with others. For example, in July of 2018, there are only 3 messages remaining in the device, and they occurred on the 29th. In contrast, there are 67 messages in January of 2018. So it does show that Chris absolutely did delete a lot of his phone. But it makes me wonder, because he said he didn't. Okay, but they did see that he did delete. Okay, we're going to be going into shenanigans here in just a second. But if you will remember, in Wisconsin, Chris said, well, Nicole told me to delete all conversations, but I didn't. And he goes on to say, it's probably a good thing I didn't, because maybe you guys can use that or whatever. But here it does show that obviously he did delete. And it looks like most all of his deleting was going on in July until around the 29th. So what was he deleting? They know it was, but what was it? Most of it was in July. And I'll give you the reason I think what I do about his whole phone being deleted and the things that they knew he had been deleting some things. And I'll tell you in just a second. Let's go on to shenanigans, because it'll pretty much be self-explanatory to you. Item number 42. This is Shenan's phone. The device is an Apple iPhone 7 Plus. The current operating system is 11.4. The device phone number is 910 area code. The device Apple ID, Shenan King. The device stored 153,672 timeline entries. 99,011 images. 2,944 contacts. 2,114 videos, 756 audio recordings, 29,796 SMS messages, 1,581 MMS messages, and 477 entries in the call log. The vast number of messages exchanged Chris and Shenan while she was in North Carolina are featured in Shenan's device, but rarely, if ever, found anywhere in Chris's device. That is where I was going with this. So up here it definitely says that it looks like July he was deleting everything for the most part. They found all that in Shenan's phone. So what that tells me is the deleted things was from Shenan. So why would he delete messages, texts, photos, and everything Shenan was sending him while she was in North Carolina? Unless somebody else was looking at his phone. You know, that just leads me to believe that obviously someone else did see his phone. And whoever that someone was, he didn't want them to see what him and Shenan were talking about. Now think on that a minute. He was, for whatever reasons, not letting her see their conversations. But if she wasn't getting his phone, because I mean, if she never asked to see his phone, or if he never had to actually show it to her, or she never just picked it up to look through it, then why would he have any reason to hide or delete every communication for the most part? And that's what it said. Rarely, if ever, there was anything on his phone about Shenan. So he deleted all that. So it doesn't sound like maybe Chris didn't really delete the stuff from Nicole, just like he said he didn't. It said because most of his looks like it's missing in the month of July. But then, you know, after the 29th, it didn't really look like there was that much missing. Okay, item 43, Nicole's personal phone. This is a sale product as well. The device is an Apple iPhone 6. The current operating system is 11.4. The device phone number is 720 area code. The device Apple ID is blank. The device stored 34,527 timeline entries, 8,428 images, 166 contacts, 820 images, 166 contacts, 820 images. So see, it's showing images twice on hers. 8,428 and then again 820. So I'm not sure why that is unless she has a different app as well. 12 audio recordings, 8,152 SMS messages, 400 MMS messages, and 206 entries in the call. The device is devoid of any calls, messages, photographs, or videos containing Chris. There is no listing for Watts nor even his number in the device contact list. So she got everything to do with Chris completely wiped out of her phone. Okay, going on down, this looks like Google searches. Yes, and this is where we're going to stop. We will look into these very interesting Google searches. Okay, guys, thank you all so much for listening. I would appreciate a thumbs up if you feel so inclined. And until next time, this is Unjustified.